the search that finds you. They say life is a journey, but few dare to ask, a journey to where? From the moment we take our first breath, the world begins shaping us. We are handed rules before we even understand choice, given a script before we know how to speak. Go to school, get a good job, find a partner, be responsible. Follow the formula, and life will reward you with happiness. At least that's the promise. And yet, so many who follow this path wake up one day, sitting in traffic or at an office desk, staring at a screen wondering, is this all there is? The ones who follow, some never stop to question. They take the road most traveled, believing that structure means security, and security means fulfillment. They do everything right, earn the degrees, land the promotions by the house. To the outside world, they are successful. But what does success mean if every day feels like drowning in the mundane? Take Daniel, a man who did everything correctly. Valedictorian, Ivy League degree, six-figure salary before 30. He had the admiration of his peers, the approval of his family, the envy of those still struggling to climb the corporate ladder. But late at night, lying in bed in his high-rise apartment, he felt the weight of something missing. His life was not his own. It was a carefully curated checklist, completed but unfulfilled. One day, he walked into his boss's office, handed in his resignation, and booked a one-way ticket to South America. His friends called him crazy. His parents begged him to reconsider. But for the first time in his life, he felt free. Does that mean walking away from security is the answer? Not necessarily. But neither is staying in a life that feels like slow suffocation. The ones who run. Then there are those who reject the script entirely. The ones who believe meaning is found not in routine, but in risk, in experience, in pushing beyond comfort. They leave the stable job for a passion project, chase creativity instead of a paycheck, or pack their lives into a suitcase and set off with no plan. But the search is not easy. Look at Ava. She was a musician, raw talent pouring from her fingertips. But the world doesn't always reward talent. She left her small town with big dreams of making it, only to find herself living in a cramped apartment, waiting tables between gigs that paid in free drinks. The nights were long, the rejection endless. She doubted herself, thought about giving up 1,000 times. And then one night, a talent scout happened to be in the crowd. One moment changed everything. But not everyone gets that moment. For every Ava, there are 100 others who struggle endlessly, who put everything on the line only to find that passion alone is not always enough. Some return home, feeling like failures. Some adjust, finding fulfillment in smaller victories. Some never stop running, convinced that meaning is just beyond the next horizon. The ones who wait. Then there are those who do neither. They hesitate at the edge, waiting for certainty before they leap. They tell themselves they'll make a change when the timing is right, when they have more money, when they feel ready. But readiness is an illusion. The years slip by, and one day they realize they spent their life standing at the crossroads, never taking a step in either direction. Jacob was one of those people. He wanted to start his own business, had ideas that kept him up at night, but there was always a reason to wait. After I save a little more, after I get a promotion, after the economy stabilizes. Years passed. The dream dimmed. He watched others take risks, some failing, some thriving, but at least they tried. And when Jacob finally felt ready, He realized he had spent so long waiting that the fire had gone out. The ones who die searching. And what of those who spend their lives searching, only to never truly find themselves? Was their search in vain? Christopher McCandless, the inspiration behind Into the Wild, abandoned modern life in pursuit of something real, something raw. He lived by his own rules, rejecting society's expectations. He sought truth in nature, in solitude, in self-sufficiency. But his story did not end in triumph. It ended in tragedy, in an abandoned bus in the Alaskan wilderness. Some call him reckless, others call him a visionary. But no one can say he didn't live. And what about those who chase dreams that never materialize? The athlete who trains for years, only to fall short of greatness. The artist who pours their soul into their work, only to remain unseen. The entrepreneur who risks everything, only to lose it all. Is failure proof that the search is meaningless? Or is the search itself the point? The truth no one wants to hear. Here's what they don't tell you. There is no perfect path. No step-by-step guide to fulfillment. No guaranteed outcome. Some people will find themselves in a stable career, in love, in raising children. Others will find themselves in movement, in risk, in chasing something just out of reach. And some will search their whole lives, never quite settling, always wondering what else is out there. The search is not about finding yourself. It is about becoming, through choices, through experiences, through the willingness to feel it all. The joy, the failure, the doubt, the triumph. And if you never stop seeking, perhaps you were never lost to begin with. This piece dives deep into the many paths of self-discovery. Those who follow traditional expectations, those who break away in search of something more, and those who remain stuck in hesitation. Through real-life stories of individuals like Daniel, who abandoned a stable life for freedom, Ava, who risked everything for her art, and Jacob, who waited so long for the right time that he let his dream fade. It highlights the struggles, triumphs, and heartbreaks of the pursuit. It also examines figures like Christopher McCandless, questioning whether the search itself is the answer, rather than the destination. Ultimately, the piece offers no easy answers, only the reality that meaning is made, not found, through risk, resilience, and the refusal to settle for mere existence.